The aging process itself is driven by a complex interplay of biological mechanisms within our cells.
Well, even if we lived in a perfect environment,
Mm,
our bodies would still age.
that's right. Aging is a natural process that's like woven into the fabric of life.
Okay.
However, the rate at which we age and the specific diseases we develop can be influenced by a variety of factors, both internal and external.
That makes sense. So while environmental factors might have played a role in extending lifespans in the past, we can't ignore the fundamental biological processes that govern aging.
Precisely. To truly understand longevity, we need to delve into the cellular and molecular mechanisms that drive aging. And that's an area where scientific research is making significant strides.
This deep dive is really making me think about aging in a whole new light.
Mm.
It's not just about external factors, it's about the intricate workings of our own bodies.
Exactly. And by understanding these internal processes, we can potentially develop interventions that target the root causes of aging and promote healthier, longer lives.
That's an exciting prospect. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's explore those biological mechanisms in more detail.
Absolutely. Let's delve into the fascinating world of cellular aging and explore the key processes that contribute to the decline of our bodies over time.
This deep dive is about to get even deeper.
Yeah.
I can't wait to learn more about the science behind aging.
It's a fascinating and rapidly evolving field of research, and I'm excited to share some of the latest insights with you.
I have a feeling this is where it gets really interesting.
I think you're right. Prepare to have your mind blown.
Hmm.
One of the key processes in cellular aging is called telomere shortening.
Okay.
You can think of telomeres as protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes, like the plastic tips on shoelaces.
Okay, that's a helpful analogy.
Yeah.
So what do these telomeres do?
Every time a cell divides, these telomeres get a little shorter eventually. They get so short that the cell can no longer divide properly, leading to cell death or dysfunction. This process is thought to contribute to the overall decline in tissue and organ function that we see with aging.
So it's like a biological clock ticking away inside our cells.
Hmm.
Is there any way to like slow down or even reverse this telomere shortening?
That's a question that researchers are actively exploring. There's an enzyme called telomerase that can actually lengthen telomeres.
Interesting. So if we could somehow boost telomerase activity, could we potentially slow down aging?
That's the idea. However, it's not quite that simple. While telomerase is active in certain cells, like stem cells and cancer cells, it's generally inactive in most adult
I
cells.
see. So even if we could activate telomerase, wouldn't there be a risk of like unintended consequences, like promoting uncontrolled cell growth or even cancer?
That's a valid concern. Manipulating telomerase activity is a complex and potentially risky endeavor. Researchers are still trying to understand the precise role of telomerase in aging and how to safely harness its potential.
That makes sense. It seems like there's still a lot we don't know about this fascinating enzyme. But telomere shortening is just one aspect of cellular aging, right? What other processes contribute to the decline we see over time?
Another key player is oxidative stress.
Okay.
Our cells are constantly exposed to damaging molecules called free radicals, which are a natural byproduct of metabolism.
Okay, I've heard of free radicals. They're often mentioned in connection with antioxidants and healthy aging.
Exactly. Think of free radicals as like tiny, unstable molecules that can damage DNA, proteins, and other cellular components.
So they're like little wrecking balls inside our cells.
That's a great analogy. Over time, this damage accumulates and can contribute to a wide range of age-related diseases, from heart disease to cancer to Alzheimer's disease.
Wow. So oxidative stress is a major player in the aging process. What can we do to protect ourselves from these free radicals?
That's where antioxidants come in. Antioxidants are molecules that can neutralize free radicals,
Right.
preventing them from causing damage.
So eating a diet rich in fruits and vegetables,
Yeah.
which are packed with antioxidants, is a good strategy for healthy aging.
Absolutely. And there are other lifestyle factors that can help reduce oxidative stress, such as regular exercise and stress management techniques.
That's good to know. It seems like we have some control over how quickly we age. But even with a healthy lifestyle, our cells still accumulate damage over time, right?
That's right. Aging is a complex process, and there's no single magic bullet to prevent it. But by understanding the biological mechanisms involved, we can potentially develop strategies to slow down the process
Mhm.
and promote healthier aging.
This is all incredibly fascinating. But going back to the video's claims about those biblical lifespans, if aging is driven by these internal biological processes, wouldn't those processes have been active in early humans as well?
That's a great point. From a biological perspective, it's highly unlikely that early humans were somehow exempt from the fundamental processes of aging.
So even if they lived in a pristine environment with a water canopy and a supercharged magnetic field,
Yeah,
their cells would still have experienced telomere shortening, oxidative stress,
yeah.
and other forms of damage.
Exactly. While environmental factors can certainly influence the rate of aging, they can't completely override the intrinsic biological mechanisms that govern this process.
Okay, that makes sense. So while the video's theories are intriguing, we need to acknowledge the limitations of attributing those biblical lifespans solely to external factors.
Absolutely. It's important to maintain a balanced perspective
Yeah.
and consider both the external and internal factors that contribute to aging.
It's like trying to solve a complex puzzle. We need to look at all the pieces and how they fit together.
Exactly. And sometimes the most intriguing mysteries are the ones that require us to think outside the box
Mhm.
and challenge our assumptions.
Well, this deep dive has certainly challenged my assumptions. It's amazing to think about how much scientific progress has been made in understanding the aging process.
It really is. And the field is constantly evolving with new discoveries being made all the time.
I'm curious to know what are some of the most promising areas of research in the quest to slow down or even reverse aging.
There are several exciting areas of research that are showing promise. One area is senolytics, which are drugs that target and eliminate senescent cells.
Senescent cells, what are those?
Senescent cells are basically zombie cells that have stopped dividing but haven't died. They can accumulate in tissues and release harmful molecules
Yeah.
that contribute to inflammation and tissue damage.
So they're like little troublemakers that disrupt the normal functioning of our bodies.
Exactly. And by eliminating these senescent cells, researchers hope to reduce inflammation and improve tissue function, potentially slowing down the aging process.
That's fascinating. It's like giving our bodies a cellular cleanup crew. What other areas of research are showing promise?
Another area is gene editing, specifically using CRISPR technology to potentially correct age-related genetic defects or enhance the expression of genes that promote longevity.
Wow, gene editing.
Yeah.
That sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie.
It does, doesn't it? But it's a rapidly advancing field with incredible potential. Researchers are still in the early stages of exploring the applications of gene editing for aging, but the possibilities are truly mind-boggling.
It's amazing to think that we might be able to edit our genes to slow down or even reverse aging, but wouldn't that raise ethical concerns?
Absolutely. Gene editing is a powerful tool that needs to be used responsibly and ethically. There are many complex considerations, such as the potential for unintended consequences and the implications for future generations.
That makes sense. It seems like the quest for longevity
Mm.
is not just a scientific endeavor,
Yeah.
but also a philosophical and ethical one.
Exactly. As we unlock the secrets of aging and develop new interventions, we need to engage in thoughtful discussions
Yeah.
about the ethical implications and ensure that these technologies are used for the benefit of all humankind.
This deep dive has really expanded my understanding of aging. It's not just about living longer, it's about living healthier and more fulfilling lives.
I couldn't agree more. The goal of aging research is not necessarily to extend lifespan indefinitely, but to enhance health span, the period of life during which we are healthy and free from age-related diseases.
That's a great distinction. So even if we can't live for hundreds of years, we can strive to live our years to the fullest with vitality and purpose.
Absolutely. And by embracing a holistic approach to aging, encompassing both lifestyle factors and scientific advancements, we can empower ourselves to age gracefully and enjoy a longer, healthier lifespan.
The conversation has been incredibly enlightening. It's made me realize that aging is not something to be feared, but rather a natural process
Yeah.
that we can learn to navigate and even optimize.
I'm glad to hear that. It's all about shifting our perspective
Yeah.
and embracing the possibilities of healthy aging.
Okay, so we've explored the biological mechanisms of aging and some of the promising areas of research aimed at slowing down the process. But going back to the video we're analyzing, they propose some rather unconventional theories to explain those biblical lifespans. One of the most intriguing is the idea of a water canopy over the earth.
Ah, yes, the water canopy theory. It's a fascinating concept that has captured the imagination of many, but from a scientific standpoint, it faces some significant challenges.
I'm all ears. Break down the science for us.
One of the main challenges is the lack of geological evidence for such a canopy. If a massive amount of water had suddenly precipitated to Earth during a global flood, we would expect to see widespread geological formations and sediment deposits consistent with such a catastrophic event.
So the absence of these geological markers casts doubt on the plausibility of a global flood and by extension, the water canopy theory.
Exactly. The geological record tells a different story, one that doesn't support the idea of a sudden catastrophic flood on a global scale.
Okay, that's a good point. What other scientific challenges does the water canopy theory face?
Another challenge is the issue of atmospheric pressure.
Okay.
A water canopy of the size and density needed to produce the effects described in the video would create like incredibly high atmospheric pressure at the Earth's surface.
Wouldn't that make it difficult to breathe and potentially crush living organisms?
Precisely. The pressure would be immense, and it's unlikely that life as we know it could survive under such conditions.
So the video's claims about the beneficial effects of a water canopy, like filtering radiation and creating a stable climate, might be overshadowed by the negative consequences of increased atmospheric pressure.
That's a valid point to consider. The water canopy theory presents a complex trade-off
Yeah.
between potential benefits and potential risks. And the scientific evidence suggests that the risks might outweigh the benefits.
It's like trying to balance a scale
Yeah.
with two very different weights. The video focuses on the positive side of the scale, but we need to acknowledge the weight of the negative side as well.
Exactly. It's all about looking at the evidence holistically and,
Yeah.
and considering all the factors involved.
Okay, so we've discussed the lack of geological evidence and the issue of atmospheric pressure. Are there any other scientific arguments against the water canopy theory?
Another challenge is the issue of thermal regulation.
Okay.
A water canopy would act as a giant greenhouse, trapping heat and potentially leading to extremely high temperatures at the Earth's surface.
Wouldn't that make it difficult for life to thrive?
Absolutely. Most life forms have a specific temperature range within which they can survive and function optimally. Extreme heat can disrupt biological processes and lead to widespread extinction.
So while the video suggests that a water canopy would create a stable climate, it's possible that it would actually lead to a climate that's too hot for most life to survive.
That's a key point to consider. The thermal effects of water canopy are complex and require careful analysis, and the scientific evidence suggests that it might lead to a hotter, less hospitable environment rather than the idyllic paradise depicted in the video.
It seems like the water canopy theory faces a lot of scientific hurdles. But even if we dismiss the idea of a literal water canopy, could there be other atmospheric phenomena that might have contributed to a different environment in the past?
That's an interesting question, and it's one that scientists are still exploring. There are theories about ancient atmospheric compositions that were different from what we have today, potentially with higher levels of certain gases like oxygen.
So while a water canopy might not be the answer, it's possible that the atmosphere itself was different in the past, potentially influencing life on Earth in various ways.
Exactly. The atmosphere is a dynamic system that has changed over time, and those changes could have had significant impacts on the evolution of life and the overall environment.
This deep dive is really making me appreciate the complexity of Earth's history and the ongoing quest to understand the forces that have shaped our planet.
It's a fascinating journey of discovery, and each new piece of evidence we uncover helps us to refine our understanding and piece together the puzzle of the past.
Okay, so we've explored the water canopy theory and some of the scientific challenges it faces. But the video goes on to suggest that another factor contributing to those biblical lifespans was a supercharged magnetic field, which they claim was like
Yeah.
16 times stronger than what we experience today. What's your take on that claim?
While it's true that the Earth's magnetic field has fluctuated in strength over time, the idea of a 16-fold increase during biblical times is not supported by the scientific evidence we have.
Okay, so the video's claim might be a bit of an exaggeration.
That seems to be the case. Paleomagnetic studies, which analyze the magnetic properties of ancient rocks, indicate that while the magnetic field has varied in strength, it hasn't reached those extreme levels in recent geological history.
So the video's claim about a supercharged magnetic field protecting early humans from harmful radiation might not hold up
Mhm.
under scientific scrutiny.
That's right. While a stronger magnetic field would provide some degree of protection, it wouldn't completely eliminate radiation exposure. And even if the field were significantly stronger, it wouldn't necessarily explain the extreme lifespans described in the Bible.
It seems like the video is attributing a lot of power to the magnetic field. But even if we grant them that a stronger field might have offered some protection, wouldn't it also have some downsides?
That's a great point. A significantly stronger magnetic field could disrupt various natural processes. For example, it could interfere with animal navigation